Next up in our exploration of the Rhone Valley, we're now going to spend a moment with Hiram Simon, who is the owner and founder of WineWise, an importer of our next wine, a favorite around here, Hiram, the Moscaron Plagniol. It has been a champion in the store. Every year I'm excited to get the new release and to compare it to the last. I think the wines are super exciting, and it's really fun to see what's happening with this particular brand. How are you today?
I'm very well and very happy to be here to talk about what is really one of my absolute favorite producers in our portfolio, Moscaron Plagniol. I started WineWise in 1989, and this estate is one of three that remain in our portfolio from those first days. So it's a very profound and long-lasting connection that we have. It's a fairly reliable gauge of an estate's quality, I think, is if they have their origins in North Africa. The Marais family actually originally came from the Languedoc back in the 18th century, where they were also involved in wine. And they, before they set up shop in the Costières de Nîmes, they also had and have a property in the Médoc called Château Puy-Castéra. So they're very, very deeply entrenched in French wine history. Roger ran the estate. His wife was a professor of ancient Greek at the University of Montpellier. They were very, very urbane, dignified, old-fashioned. Oh, I should mention one important thing, which is it's much better known by another name, which is Madé-Bressade. If you to look for them at the internet, that's where you would find them. We have the Moscaron Plagniol label because the Bressade label was taken by another importer. But the Moscaron Plagniol is actually the name of the family house on the estate. But the estate is a large estate, all in one piece, basically, in this area in the Gare.
We have a couple of pictures actually from the Madé-Bressade website, in particular the soils of this area of the Rhone, which has this massive, forceful, wide river that just carries an immense amount of water through southern France and has literally removed so much topsoil that you've got these massive round stones everywhere that have probably traveled hundreds of miles, and they've got these corners, they call them galets, and it's really a fascinating part of the entire Rhone Valley. And it's really great with one of the great wineries there calls their wine the blood of the stones, and I think that's just a great way to think of it. And here's a look at their chai, very traditional, concrete, stainless steel. It's this is like every great small producer looks just like this.
Yeah, they do have a barrel cellar too, because they age a lot of their wines in barrique. But that was indeed the main fermentation and settling area that you just saw in the cellars. And these are some of Cyril's many children that you can see he puts to good use at harvest time, and they seem to be having a very good time, I must say. I'm sure contribute hugely to the wine's quality. Now, this is a fantastic picture because it really does convey to you the singular quality of these vineyards. You can travel, the Costières de Nîmes is a huge area. And it actually is not at all uniform in the quality of the wine and the style of the wines it makes. But you could see many vineyards that have not nary a pebble in them. But when you go to their estate, it's just covered with these galets, and it really is a hallmark of quality.
Yeah, we'll get to our wine now. The 2000 and where are we? 19? Is that what we're tasting today?
Yes.
2019. Wow. So we had 17, 18, now we're 19. which is a blend of Grenache, Syrah, and Cinsault.
This particular bottling, the Cuvée Tradition, is fundamentally a blend of roughly equal parts of Grenache and Syrah. The proportions vary year by year according to the yields of the vineyards, but those are the two building blocks of the wine. And as I say, the Cinsault is included to add to the freshness because it has better acidity than these other grapes.
Well, in the glass, we'll taste now with our friends, but this wine always has this wonderful saturated, rich, dense, wonderful mouthfeel. And I really enjoy the fact that this is a wine that we are able to sell for less than $15 a bottle. Family made and operated. I don't know how you do it, getting a wine of this quality all the way over here, but that's what I we all sit around in the wine business, and it's easy to buy expensive wines that you love, but to find something of value that you could open at any occasion. And I have opened this wine next to wines 10 times its price, and you can find really good things to say about this particular producer at every level.
Yeah, they give you a lot of wine for the money, and it defies logic that the wines are so cheap. But they're just reasonable people. They're not trying to become rich. They're just doing a really honest job, and that's the reason why 34 years later we're still friends and still collaborating.
Thank you so much for the info. Thanks for being such a great supporter and businessman, and we really enjoy working with you and your company.
Thank you, Ian. The feeling is entirely mutual, and we really appreciate the fact that you go out on a limb to show the world wines that otherwise it might ignore at its peril or its loss.
Fun to find little treasures like this. So thank you, Hiram.
My pleasure.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.